Alright, hello everyone. Today I have a different kind of video. I have taken a lot of the GIFs and Vines recently shown by Steve, who is one of the developers that you would probably know from the dev streams if you've been watching them, and not my breakdowns or some mix of both maybe. And he has been releasing some videos on his Twitter, essentially, is where I sourced them from, I suppose. About a lot of things that are coming to Warframe soon, and I'm kind of sitting on one right now. This is one that this is probably like the least exciting of all of them, but I think it's still like, it's a new cosmetic, which is important to some people, and I kind of wanted to like point something out about this that is like maybe doesn't need to be pointed out, but like it's in game. I don't know how easy this is to do in like the actual engine. But he's going from like blue to red and kind of rainbowing through colors. I doubt this will ever happen, but Steve, if you can see this video, I would pitch like a rainbow color scheme, like just one thing that you would select, then cosmetics. It could just go from like one color to another, like across the spectrum of a rainbow. That's 500 platinum. That idea is free. You can print that. You can print money with that idea. Like, you could make that, like, literally 500 platinum, or, like, behind, like, the never-ending torment edition of, like, a trial, and it would be worth it. Just having, like, the ability to have, like, a Sindana that, like, rainbows through colors. That idea prints money, and it's for free. You can have that. Alright. Anyway, now that we're beyond that, I think capes look really cool. This is another different cape, and I'm really, like, just enjoying, like, its visual style. And then we have one other thing that is in the like large, nice resolution like this. Actually, I should get to that a little bit later because it kind of shows off some other stuff. So we'll go overlay with that real quick. This is okay. Also, I should mention this like bottom like warning, like down here in the bottom, the content shown is only somewhat official. The reason that's there is because Steve is like tweeting these out and vining them and stuff like that. And as much as he is totally one of the main developers on Warframe and stuff like that, it's not through like the channel of like warframe.com or like the Play Warframe like YouTube channel and stuff like that I'm getting any of this content. So I have to say that it is like not 100% like confirmed. Any of this could change at absolutely any point, but based on what I'm seeing, I hope it all kind of goes in. And this is an early concept for the solar map, and like what its visual style will be kind of close to when it's done. So I'm just gonna play that. Alright, I'm gonna mute that one just because the sound is not important in that one. This is way better than what we have currently. The way we have currently is like actually very, very confusing, and I know that in the new solar map they want to like reduce the amount of nodes by a great margin. So having it like regionalized, which they talked about a little bit in the last dev stream, and they showed like a mock-up concept, and this is like a little more like visually appealing, I suppose, than just a mock-up type thing. But if there are going to be significantly fewer nodes, I think this is going to be a way for it to make a lot more sense to people that don't exactly know what they're doing. Also, it's really pretty. That's important. But that is basically kind of all I wanted to say about that, in that it exists, and I think visually super appealing, done with like a really good sense of progression and direction. I think it'll be a huge market improvement over both previous solar map systems. So we have that. Next up, we have bullet jumping, which they have not shown on any dev streams yet, and I was a little bit excited. I was a little bit excited whenever I saw this. Whenever I saw that this was going to be a thing, I was just a little bit excited. So let's just start this up. Okay. This shit right here, this is what I want. This is what I want in my life. Because this is like, because I'm someone that doesn't like coptering, not because like I can't do it or anything, but because I think that is like, it looks tacky and it's like really like glitchy and weird and does like some really weird movement of like shoving your like whole face into walls and shit. I don't do it. but I do the like sliding on the ground and like doing the like spin jump. This literally just looks like an enhanced version of that, and I'm very excited because of that. This is I believe this is the like earliest video of bullet jumping, and it's very straight line and very basic. The next stuff that we're going to get to is a little bit more complicated, and some of it has like combat in it and such. But let's go to the other new feature type dealio thing, which he is calling aim gliding. Not as catchy as bullet jumping, but I think it still looks really good. Okay. So, the basic concept of this is that whenever you aim while in midair, you fall very, very slowly. Which seems really self-explanatory, but like what that enables is actual air combat, like actually being able to like stay in the air and shoot people, because the way it is right now, you're going to shoot like a guy before you hit the ground if you aim in midair. With this, it actually makes it so that it's an actual like tactical solution to certain problems, and like they could design areas in more interesting ways because of stuff like this, which I think is really, really nice. Not to mention having the extra mobility and maybe like longer jumps because of it is really interesting. The one thing that I am curious to see if this stuff does go in is how this affects Zephyr, because Zephyr already falls at, well, it feels that way. I'm not 100% sure on this. Zephyr feels like she falls at an incredibly slowed pace. So if Zephyr aim glides, I'm wondering if she basically is just flying in a straight line and could just tear dudes up. Which is what I would want, because that would be like a special function of Zephyr, because she's supposed to be the bird. And I think that would give Zephyr a nice little boost in terms of functionality, and it would be appropriate for her theme. But that is the introduction to aim gliding. Some of the other stuff is going to be like a combination of both of these things. And then we have this stuff. This is nothing like too crazy, just shows like some animations of an Arcwing being underwater. And this shows off some of the sounds that we can get there. This is not like this. I pulled this because I know some people are excited for underwater Arcwing. I'm interested to see how it goes personally, and the sound design is really good. Also, I like how this underwater tile like looks visually. It's kind of nice little coral reef looking thing. Then the last vine that we have, it shows basically. This is like how sound change. It's air gliding, but it's like the effect that it has in sound, which is stuff that I find interesting. But also, just gives you a lot of height. Like, look how far up you go. Like, I'm not sure if that's a charged jump or just a raw double jump, but like one way or another, you get height. Like that's. Like, the sound stuff that this is showing off is really interesting to me. But, like, beyond that, like, what is not really said here is that from, like, a walking position, you can just shoot up in the air, like, instantly and get, like, tons of height, which means, like, there's a lot more, like, traversal that you can do if that's going to be possible for all of the Warframes, which I assume it pretty much will be. But that is the last vine that we have. And then the very last thing that we've got is a higher quality, well, not necessarily super higher quality. It's a Jiffy Cat of some stuff, of just Steve doing some stuff. Yeah. Doing some stuff. And like this right here, like being able to have like this, like right there at like the opening is like the most important part. It is a traversal option that we currently have no equivalent to other than like pole arm jumping, and then it's very rough and not very accurate. In this, like, you can immediately tell that he has a lot more control. And I say a lot more control. It could be because Steve has like pretty obviously put, you know, like 4,000 hours, let's do the low estimate, into Warframe, and he's just very good at it. But I'm going to also assume that having put that many hours into it, I assumed hours into it, that he's made it very accessible for newcomers, and that you would be able to like accomplish stuff like this with ease, and that it would feel good, and it looks good. Like visually, like that bullet jump. I was gonna say something really erotic. It looks really good. Anyway, this video is relatively short, and I hope it's relatively short. I don't know how long I've been talking about this stuff. Anyway, I just kind of wanted to go over the stuff that we haven't seen that is maybe coming out as soon as next week, or like shit, it could come out tomorrow. Tomorrow's Wednesday, so who knows? But I wanted to talk about this stuff while I found it. I did not know that Steve had a Twitter where he was posting gameplay stuff, or else I would have been on this train a long time ago. But if you guys, obviously I can't take credit for any of this, like any of these like GIFs and stuff. This is all Steve. He's 1 second. Let me make sure. Let me go over here real quick and make sure I know what his like link is. Okay, now I have his Twitter thing. Okay, I'm just gonna put that on screen. So if you want to follow him on the Twitter, that's where I have been getting this content. I'm sure he will probably be posting more stuff in the future, answering questions about Warframe, doing all kinds of cool stuff like that. And I was happy to talk about all this new stuff because it seems really interesting. But anyway, I'm very excited for this week's dev stream because hopefully we get a solid release date, or it will have already been out and we can get a lot of questions answered, or we'll see the full breadth of what we will be getting very soon. Anyway, I think that should be all for this video, and I will see you guys tomorrow.